Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Bones and All. And this movie came out in 2022 and it's directed by Luca Guadagnino. I never know if I'm pronouncing that right. And he's responsible for making one of my all time favorite movies, that being the Suspiria remake. I really love that movie. And he also did Challengers, which was his next movie after this, I believe. And he also did Queer, which I really love. And he did Call Me By Your Name. He did I Am Love. I've always enjoyed his movies. They always look consistently very nice, and that's what I got from this movie. But unfortunately, compared to all of those, this might be my least favorite, and it was just the one I was invested in the least. Like, the music in this movie was pretty great, and I was like really in love with what was going on musically in this movie, and it was really connecting with me. And the film looked great, and plenty of shots are really sticking in my head in terms of how they were framed, and it just looked beautiful overall. And the acting's great. I didn't have any problems with the performances, and with this being a certain type of a movie. I'm not going to say specifically what, just in case that you don't know. But when something first happens in the opening scene, I thought it was very well done and very effective. Aside from the slow motion that was in it for no reason, I just found that to be a little distracting. And there were definitely scenes sprinkled throughout that I enjoyed, like the tape scenes of the tape recording that I liked. And there's some fun surprises in the movie that I enjoyed as well, and there were some nice sound design choices that I was able to pick up on. And I did like the side characters that didn't have much screen time for the most part. I do feel as though there are parts in which it could have been cut out or cut down so we wouldn't get as much. And there are moments in this movie that reminded me of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre a little bit. Those parts I found to be memorable. And also, my overall feelings on this movie kind of revolve around it being a film that I more or less appreciate than I enjoyed. Like, the story was just fine. It's basically mostly just a road trip movie in a sense. And the characters aren't really all that interesting to me, aside from the main character's journey and everything that she discovers. But beyond that, I didn't find the characters interesting really much at all. And because of that, it really dragged down the pacing for the movie, and it just made it kind of boring for me to watch. And this movie had plenty of effective moments, but unfortunately, it was kind of just not entirely losing me. It never lost me up until like the third act. That's where it kind of lost me, and things just went a bit too far, and it was kind of unearned in my mind. But I was still kind of with it, but not really attached to anything. I was still appreciating what the movie was trying to go for, and from a technical standpoint, that's where most of my appreciation from this movie came from. But it's just not a movie that I really connected with overall, aside from like a couple moments that I liked. But most of it was just kind of forgettable, unfortunately, from a storytelling standpoint. And this movie, I feel as though was trying to make you care about certain characters that were like very minute. And I never once felt anything towards those characters. I was like, okay, that's happening. I don't care. They're not really a character. And if you're trying to make this somewhat shocking, like, it only worked in the opening scene because it sets the tone of what you're in for, kind of. But aside from that, not much else to it. And I wasn't big on some of the flashbacks that happened with Lee's dad and like that whole story. Like, it just didn't really connect with me. And I get what it serves in the story and where things go because of that, but I just didn't care for it. It was kind of a movie where I just didn't really feel much emotion at all. I was watching it, appreciating it, but not really feeling much from it. It's just one of those where you watch it and you're like, okay, that's good, but it's not really something that I'm going to rush back to or revisit anytime soon. And I honestly don't even know if I have any desire to rewatch this movie ever again. I still like it by the end of the day, but I just don't really see myself coming back to it because there's just nothing really about it that makes me want to come back to it. There's not that one scene that makes me feel like, oh yeah, that scene's worth coming back to, or this whole greater story, or something that happens in the movie that really worked for me, or just something to keep me tuned in, keep me interested from the story telling. And it was just the technical elements that were keeping me going. And unfortunately, it can only take me so far before it just kind of loses me. So if you like this director, then I would recommend that you would check this movie out. It's not a bad movie. It's currently on Netflix, so if you want to watch it, there's a way to do so. And it was good. I just didn't love it. It doesn't stick with me with many of his other movies that I've seen. And this was just one that I was kind of underwhelmed by, which is nothing new in a sense, because as the saying goes, well, it's not really a saying, but it's more or less the truth. Every director makes a movie that's not as good as the others. So, but anyways, I would recommend this movie if you like Luca Guadagnino, if I pronounce his name right. If you like him, then check it out. If you don't like him, skip it. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Bones and All a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Bones and All, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Jingle All the Way. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.